foreigners law that went to Parliament. It was day before yesterday, wasn't it? And it's on the president's desk now, isn't it? For what we call in this country promulgation. So
That's it.
yeah, how's your week been, Daniel? And what say you about the foreigners law and the latest developments on that?
Well, it has been an incredibly busy week. I haven't seen actually the final text out of the law, so I still need to read it. But from what I've seen in the news, it seems like they've expunged all the problems that the Constitutional Court has pointed out. And it seems like the president is keen on approving the law as is, as long as everything that the Constitutional Court was indeed expunged. If the president finds anything that well, it still can be a constitutional problem. He can send the law again to the Constitutional Court to do another rerun of the situation and see if the law is indeed according to our constitution. I don't
Mm.
think that this is the result. I think that things do seem to be lining up for the president to approve, and then for the law to be final in being in operation. But let's just wait and see. For the time being, the signals that we're having from the presidency is approval, but we'll need to just have the president's final word.
Yes, and as I understand it, the toing and froing is works on the basis that there's an understanding of what the president may or may not tolerate. And some of this has been political horse trading,
Yep.
point scoring, and compromise. So it's almost you could say it's the Portuguese political system working at its best, now going to the highest tier for approval,
I agree.
and it's the sort of result we might hope for, even though the specifics for some people won't be ideal. But it is a good example of how the law and how law is created in this country.
I agree. It's the checks and balances. It's not only the parliament that holds all the power.
Yeah.
Other institutions and the democratic institutions do hold some power as well. And democracy is not always the rule of the majority. It needs to account, well, minorities and other what we call the life strengths of society. So having a constitutional court that does look into the laws and see if they are corresponding or according to our constitution, having the president being able to veto politically the law or sending the law to the constitutional court. This all creates some checks and balances to avoid the majority pushing some well, nasty laws into place. So I think it's a balanced system in that way, and it creates the said checks and balances. So I do see this as a positive thing. Sometimes people get upset when the laws that they are in favor of get either voted out or they get into the constitutional court and the constitutional court doesn't allow them to be approved. But at the end of the day, it's good that the power is not just held by the parliament, and other institutions do their work as well.
Excellent. Yeah, and Constitutional Court, for example. So it would appear, and to answer your question, thank you for the questions that are already coming in. Put them into the chat, and please, over on YouTube, if you've got questions, put them into the comments there. José Cruz, boa noite. So what is in the law as it has been sent to the president? As Daniel said there, he's had a busy week. Your main information has come from the news, but to summarize, I think it's fair to say that the left-leaning parties voted against, the right-leaning parties voted for, and
Yes.
the extremes that were wanted and hoped for have been knocked back in more of the compromise that you've just outlined there, Daniel. So
That's a good
next,
summary, yeah.
yeah, and next will be the citizenship nationality side that got pushed back in the same way, and that will be later on this month, will it not?
Well, that's indeed what's planned. Let's see, because I think that this is a bit dependent on the elections that we're going to
Oh,
have
yes, of
in a
course.
couple of weeks. So I think that the political traction may be a bit dependent on the municipal elections. But yes, it's supposed to be discussed on the third week of October, the nationality law. And probably if they do try to insert unconstitutional articles in the law, it will suffer the same situation. It will be sent to the constitutional court and then eventually sent back to the parliament. So At the end of the day, the proposal that was done initially by the nationality law had some articles that they may be unconstitutional. So let's see if they do try to push the same text as it was in May. I don't think so, because the government, this was a proposal out of the government. They withdraw the proposal to have this discussed in well, with more parties, with the Bar Association, the Lawyers Association, and with other living forces of society. So probably they will not try to approve the text as it was, but I'm hoping for a few amendments and for a few changes. And if they don't, I think that the same thing will happen. The law will be sent to the Constitutional Court. It will have some pushback, and it will be a more toned down law, washed down law for the nationality. So this is my
Wow.
outlook perspective of the situation.
So a rocky road still, and as you say,
Oh, yeah,
the local
definitely.
elections coming up 10 days from now, 12th of October will be the local
Correct.
elections. Some of us foreigners will be voting in that because we've been able to do so. Anything else from the world of law, Daniel?
Not at the moment. Not at the moment.
Okay, fair enough. If you've got any questions legal wise, you can put them to Dr. Reyes of Reyes and Pelicano here this evening. Thank you, Jay. We will come back to that. A fellow lawyer from across the pond. So we'll come back to your question. Thank you for that, Jay. We'll come back to you. And call me old fashioned, but it'll be ladies first. I'm going to go to you now, Gilda. Daniel being the notable exception of proving the rule there. Gilda, how are you this evening?
Hello, I'm fine, thank you.
Good to see you. Good to see you. Still exciting times, of course, when it comes to IMA, formerly CEF, and what's going on with immigration in Portugal. How's your week been?
Well, since I really wanted to have this conversation here, to bring this conversation to the forum, because the renewals of the residency permits are being a nightmare. And there are a lot of confusion, and I want to clarify some things. For instance, now they require for everyone to have the social security number. Okay?
Yeah.
And for everyone that doesn't work in Portugal, that came with a D7, they need to go in person to get the social security number. We can offer that service, but what is the service that we offer is someone from our team goes very early to get some tickets, and then we'll call around the time that you need to be there. So this will help you to have your process fast and without any mistakes, but you still need to go in person. You just don't need to wait in line for hours.
That's a great service, Gilda. For anyone who's ever taken a ticket and waited here in Portugal, you'll know that that is a great service.
Thank you. But I have to say that when people, it's not our fault, it's the rules changed, but when people came for us and asked for a quotation for the renewal, we had one scenario. So the quotation was one, but now they need the social security. So if you want the social security, there are two separate services: the renewal and getting the social security number. Because what everyone is saying is, I've paid for the renewal, so I want all the services. Two different services, two different departments, two different people working on that. So it's not affordable for us to render the services for the price of the renewal only. Another thing is that they changed once more the rules, and now everything needs to be certified. Passport needs to be certified. Rental agreement needs to be certified. Many things need to be certified. So it's a lot of work. And then because of all these certifications, we need to put everything in a lower in a lower file so that we can upload, and it takes time, and we need the help of a tech person to do that, because the program is really not working well. So we are having lots of efforts involved in these renewals, and I would like you to understand that those are not easy times for us.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone is complaining about the price of the service, but you have no idea what it has been like. And they keep changing, and the service that was supposed to be something simple, it's now very, very complex. Another problem that we are facing is that they want the social security number, but in the system, they are not associating the social security number to the process. And for that, we keep trying and trying and trying. Sometimes we get a response, sometimes we don't get a response. And when we don't get a response, for the process not to be on hold, we need to ask the clients. We prepare a folder, and the clients need to go to IMA so that they can do the association. They are not allowing lawyers to do it. Okay.
Right.
So this seems very complex for the client. I put myself in the client's shoes. Okay, they said sell me a service, but now I need to pay for the social security number. Now, if they are not able to associate my number, I need to go to IMA with the file that they are preparing so that I can get my number associated. This is not the ideal situation, but it's all we can do to help you. And as I told you in the last
in our session last week.
session,
Yep.
yeah, we are making package for this, so that you won't have to pay all these services service by service, but to make it easier for you, but also for us.
Yes, fair enough. No,
Big
thank you
news.
for that
I'm
explanation.
sorry, I had to give this explanation.
No, fair enough. Absolutely fair enough. And also available to answer any other questions tonight on the intricacies of what's going on. And it has become, as you've outlined there, very complicated. I mean, that's essentially what's happening here. And for good reason, as you've said before, Gilda, this is more staff have been employed to help with the workload, but it's led to a checklist system and a little bit less nuance and judgment from the individuals involved. They're following specific checklists, aren't they? And that's making it a little bit difficult sometimes for some people. So, but you're, as ever, prepared and ready to deal with such barriers and obstacles to people coming to Portugal. Any questions about that, please pop them in the chat. They are coming in, the questions. Thank you, Mr. S, Laurie, and Jay, for further questions from you. Anything else, Gilda, to share with us? Anything from Casa Portuguesa, who I suspect are very busy as well at the moment?
Yes, actually, we've been very busy with Casa Portuguesa. We have made a rebranding. I am going to ask Astrid and Jerry to show our new services, our new team, our new website.
Oh, brilliant.
Yes.
Okay, is it an AI version of the team singing Casa Portuguesa as immortalized by Amalia?
No,
We'll let that be a
not
surprise.
yet.
We'll let that be a surprise because that could actually be what's happening. Thanks, Gilda. Great to have you here and answering questions on migrating and moving to Portugal. Let's go to Sarah Davey. I think what I've referred to as volatility, the conditions for volatility have not eased up at all, have they, Sarah?
Volatility. We'd say that a couple of times. Difficult.
So what's going on in your world?
Well, no, they haven't. I mean, the Fed cut rates in September, and that's one of the things, obviously, we were looking at. I mean, Morgan Stanley, they're predicting 2 rate cuts this year and then 4 next year, and possibly we could get to a rate of 1.25, which is around 0.80 inverse next year, potentially.
Wow.
Obviously, the big news at the moment is that obviously the government is shut down.
Yes.
First time in about 7 years. Because Congress failed to pass a funding bill. Historically, a shutdown didn't have too much of effect or a modest effect, obviously this is a little bit of a concern. Should it continue, then it may devalue the US dollar. The problem really is with the shutdown is that then we're not seeing, or the Fed's not seeing, obviously, economic information, which that's what they're looking at, obviously, to react to interest rate announcements and other things as well. So that's one of the things, obviously, which is difficult to tell. I mean, at the moment, we've really been locked in similar ranges, about 116 to 118, which inverses 0.86 to 0.84. I think, as I said before, I know that if you've been on this journey for a while now, we have seen better rates, certainly at the beginning of the year before that. However, this could be the new levels that we're looking at. And as I said, if the forecasts and things are true, then we may see more expensive to sell your US dollars and buy euros. And then these levels would actually look quite good. So the key thing really is that, can we help you manage that? There's a couple of ways that we can do it. One is if you've got any bigger purchases, whether it be a house or something like that you're looking to do, move some savings, then we can either move your money now or we can lock rates for a future payment. If you're doing something like pension transfers, again, what we can do, as long as they're really probably over about, I'd say, 2,500 US dollars per month, we can look at locking the rate for maybe a 12-month period. Again, it depends on your need. If you don't need the money straight away, then you might want to do it quarterly. Again, the other thing to bear in mind, if you have moved to Portugal and you've got a Portuguese address, please do let us know and use that. It's important to keep your accounts up to date, because we can give you a US dollar collection account, which means you don't get charged the US dollar bank transfer fees as well. So again, we're looking at the whole thing. We're looking at what your situation is, what money have you got to move now, or certainly in the future. I think that's the planning sort of side of things. What does the next 6 months or 12 months look like for you? And can we put a plan and strategy in place for you?
Very good. Thank you. So any questions about, if you want any of that further, well, a deeper dive into anything that Sarah's been sharing with us there, please let us know in the chat and we'll go to Sarah to answer those questions about currency. And Rita, good evening to you. Rita and Nunu, how are you doing in the world of insurance? It's always reassuring to hear that you've had a very boring, although busy, but the industry itself is nice and steady. That's what we look for. Is that the case, Rita?
Yes, of course.
Good, excellent. So nice and steady at the helm of insurance.
Yes.
Very good. But still very busy helping people moving to Portugal. Thank you for being here, Rita, as well as Gonzalo, and the boss, although I don't think he likes me referring to him as that. The key team member. Let's go with that this evening. Nunu Mensch from Winsurance. How are you, Nunu? Hi,
good evening, everyone. So first, let me tell that I don't know if suddenly I disappear from here because I'm in Amsterdam and I don't know, but in this where I'm located, the internet is not very.
Oh, there you go. You couldn't have timed that any better, Nunu. The internet is. I'm just joking. Mine hasn't gone either as well. But that we have to look at the replay and make a short of
why
that.
it was. And this is why also Gonçalo is here to reinforce.
Look at you back now. That was wonderful,
Yeah.
Nunu. I don't know if you did that on purpose, but that was just as you were describing your internet conditions, you disappeared. I thought you were disappearing in Amsterdam for other reasons, but it's obviously a tech-based concern here. How is Amsterdam this evening?
So it seems that people end the day before we in Portugal. So by about
Really?
8 p.m., very evening, only a few people in the street.
Wow, boring.
Yeah.
Wow,
Well,
yeah,
I don't know if it's boring. People are
yes,
living more into their homes,
yes,
which I
older.
think that it's something that we are missing. So living more as a family. But yeah, I really love Amsterdam, all the architecture, being multicultural, the water, the rivers, the canal. So yeah, I love Amsterdam.
Okay, and I hope you've taken your bicycle insurance with you. Having a little ride on a
Yeah,
bicycle.
no, because it's only a quick. It was only a quick ride, because we had today a ceremony of our youngest daughter. She had the ceremony of doing her master degree in environment law. So things that,
Congratulations, parabéns to
yeah,
her
yeah,
and the whole family. Well
yeah.
done
And
there.
regarding insurance, as you said, yeah, everything very, very stable.
Good.
We are entering in the final quarter of the year, and it seems that all insurers regarding health insurance, they are not expecting to increase the insurance premiums very much as it happened on the previous years.
Well, good to
So
know. Great news.
maybe by about 5% you could
Yes.
expect this. But remember, if before the rates are different from each age to each
Yes.
age,
Yes.
so it could not be only 5% because you also have one more year old. So
Oh, okay. So the sort of
okay.
almost like the index related raise
Yes,
is 5%, and
exactly.
there may be adjustments according to your specific demographics as well.
Exactly.
Personal.
Only two final words regarding two words to the insurance world regarding travel insurance. We have now a very good annual plan, so an alternative one, worldwide coverage, and just to be aware of if you have someone working into your home, a gardener, a housekeeping, they must have a mandatory insurance.
Yes.
So workers' compensation insurance. So be aware of this.
And
So
by
all
that,
this
Nunu,
applies.
means you have to take out the insurance in order to have people working on your property.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes, yes.
Right. Okay. So there you go. The workers. Sorry, what was the official title of that, Nunu?
Acidentes de trabalho.
Okay. So it's workers' insurance, basically.
Workers' compensation.
Workers'
It's
compensation.
how it's known internationally.
All right. Thank you very much for that. Good to have you here, and Rita
Thank you.
Gonzalo from your office. Last but certainly not least, with an update for us is Pedro Franco from EI, who of course has pioneered the I don't think we could call it a trio, the situation where you have a three-way call with the your native accountant, your CPA perhaps if you're in the US, and Pedro Franco over here representing the Portuguese side of taxation and fiscal matters. Good evening to you, Pedro.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Carl.
Good to see you.
Yeah, likewise. Well, the tax world is like this. For 9 months, you don't hear anything, and then suddenly an earthquake comes in.
Right.
We are approaching the year end and the state budget discussion. The government is preparing some cards to play.
Yes.
Well, I think probably you've all heard on the news because this was all over the news and also also overseas. There are some controversial measures, some divisive measures from the government that are dividing opinions, and some others that are more consensual. However, nothing is yet approved and running. So it's still drafted or waiting for Parliament approval. So I will just go through some of them that I think that are important.
Fantastic. Thank you.
So one of the most controversial is the higher IMT for non-residents. So IMT is a property acquisition tax, the transfer tax that you pay one time when you buy a house in Portugal, and everyone pays it. It's already a very high cost because it can easily be 6%, which is the maximum rate. If the house is not over 1 million euros, which in that case, it's even higher. To that, you have to add the stamp duty, which is 0.8%. So we are talking about 7% cost that you have when you buy a house in Portugal.
Yes.
And the news and the government, the Prime Minister announced in its program to increase this property tax for non-residents, for non-resident individuals that are purchasing a home in Portugal. The Prime Minister also announced that the Portuguese immigrants would be excluded from this additional tax? Well, probably you heard about this in Spain, and the result was that in Spain it was inconstitutional. So this law was not passed in Spain.
Okay.
In Portugal, I think it will be just the same case because you cannot discriminate, and Daniel probably knows this better than myself. But you cannot discriminate within the EU and also outside the EU. You cannot discriminate based on citizenship or based on residency. So I think that law will not. I think maybe the trick was to make some announcement for some people to be happy and some carnival and then
So like a pro-Portuguese measure to look after the people at the expense of foreigners.
Yeah, it's not exclusive Portuguese, this idea. So
right, okay.
The politicians' idea to keep people discussing this while they are not discussing other things, maybe.
Wow, okay. All right, thank you for that analysis. Right, but unlikely to stick.
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
All
So well, most likely. So
right.
Another important measure was, this one is very important, is that the government has approved a reduced VAT tax rate on construction of residential properties. Okay, this is very important because the VAT, the value-added tax in Portugal, which is taxes services and goods, is 23%. So when you, for example, if you buy land and you want to construct your own house, the construction company will charge you 23% on the construction services, okay, including all the materials and labor included on that. Okay, this is very expensive because if you think that on top of that you will pay also the EMT when you buy a house, and a house is not a luxury item, so it's quite essential. So the government has approved a reduction to 6% on the construction. So it means a 17% reduction on the cost of construction. Let's think of it that way. The discussion now among professionals is, and among the public in general, is who is going to appropriate this value? Is it going to be the people that promote the construction, the builder, or the developer, or is it going to be the general public? In any case, I think you must consider that if conditions are better for other builders to come to the market and play and build houses, you are already changing the game of the offer. So you are already providing more offer through better returns to builders. So I think on the long term, it will have a positive effect on the real estate market by the means of not letting the prices increase so much.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a punishing level of tax, isn't it? And prohibitive, you might argue.
23% plus then the IMT on top of that, it's completely stupid. And doesn't make any sense. So this is, however, there is a threshold. This is the bad news, which this only applies to properties of a value up to an amount of 648,000 euros.
Right. Okay.
Okay. So it's a moderate price because in Portugal already many houses are over this value.
And is that the build price, the total budget of the building, not the market?
No, it's the price of the property when you are going to pay. So if the builder is going to sell the property for a value, a higher value than that threshold, so it will not be applicable, the 6%. So
okay, so we can expect a lot of properties on the market just under that level then.
Yeah, I guess that a lot of properties will come up with a value of 600,000 euros suddenly.
Yes, funnily enough. Yeah, okay. All right. Well, it's very interesting news.
Yeah, and also if you construct a house or buy a property or if you rehabilitate a property, in the philosophy of build to rent, So you invest in property and you make some construction and then you rent it, provided that the monthly rent does not exceed 2,300 euros per month. It's also applicable, this 6% reduction in VAT. So
Very good.
once again, it's a positive measure in this case.
Yeah, thank you.
Then an additional, also I think it's worth mentioning, in this package, there's also personal income tax incentives for affordable housing. How come? There is a draft law submitted that is encouraging the rental and sale of affordable or moderately priced houses. And the incentives includes increasing the deduction in your personal income tax, which nowadays is around 700 or 600 euros per year. So in terms of the rent that you pay as a tenant, you will be able to deduct up to 900 euros in 26 and 1,000 euros in 27. I think this is very symbolic. It's not material. No one will make any decision based on this. However, there is another measure that is very interesting, which is the reduction of the tax rate applicable to rental income. So if you invest in a property in Portugal and you rent that property, if it's a house, you pay 25%.
Mm-hmm.
However, the government has drafted a law that it will decrease to 10% on this same rental income, as long as the property is leased at moderate rents. And we can consider the concept of moderate rents, the values that we've discussed previously of the 2,300 euros per month.
Yes, very good. These are pro-growth tactics or strategies.
Totally. To make the rental market more active, more attractive for new players to come into the market, because the big problem is, as anybody knows, is the lack of offer. Not many houses to rent, many available houses to choose from.
Okay, and who have we got to thank for this? Is this something that's been wanted by the parties in power for a long time?
Well, these have always been the ideas of many people belonging to the party that is now in parliament, in government, plus I think some inputs from the professionals that are from real estate professionals and economists that are studying the real estate market and the housing market. And this is not new. So these other countries are doing this kind of incentives as well. So
I think Ireland were reducing those sort of value-added taxes on building and development. Great. Is that everything from you, Pedro? From the timing,
that's the most important.
Yeah, and of course these are proposals, and this is another thing that's going to be going through the Parliament, as well as the attention on the local elections and the citizenship matters. So there's a lot going on. But that sounds very positive.
Sorry, Carl. One additional. This is very interesting. I forgot this one. I'm sorry. I would not want to stop without saying it. Which is that if you have a secondary house, if this is one of the measures that is also on the package, if you sell a secondary house and you have a profit, it's taxed as a capital gain. But if you reinvest the proceeds of the sale on another house, which is not a primary house for you, it's a secondary house, but if it's going for affordable renting as well, you can exclude the taxation on these capital gains. This is completely new in Portugal, because we are not talking about your primary house.
No, that's right, because that was the case with primary houses, and so now extended to secondary houses if they fit that criteria. That's good to know as well. So lots of pro-growth strategies there, and hopefully helpful to people who are looking for places to live, Portuguese and foreigners alike. Thank you for that. Great shares updates from all of our professionals on the Dream Team panel tonight. Let's get into your specific questions to them as well. Thank you. And over on YouTube, I see there are a couple. We'll get to those if we can. We do, of course, prioritize the Expats Portugal Premium members who are here this evening with us on the Zoom call. Thank you, Gonzalo, for your message in the chat as well to help people there. Very helpfully giving your email address. We go to Jay. to, and I love how you're getting into the Portuguese culture and how you're addressing people, Jay. To Ms. Gilda, or we could say Gilda, what exactly do you mean by passports need to be certified? Certified in bold. What does certification mean? Notary, public, apostille?
Notary, and in Portugal, it can be done by a lawyer.
Right. Okay. Simple as that. Anything else you want to say on that? I think Jay will understand exactly what you mean.
We have that service if you need.
Okay, very, very good. Excellent. Is it true, says Mr. S, that passports need to be photocopied integral and certified for online renewals for September 25? Are the means of subsistence, and another question as well, are the means of subsistence for passive income earners the same as for people who work? Again, online renewals. IMA is sending indeferido notices because they don't want foreign documents. Can you help us make sense of that question there, please?
Well, first question
Yes,
was
integral, the photocopying integral.
no, it's not true. They are not requesting that.
What does that mean?
They only asked for the identification pages of the passport.
Oh, integral will mean the whole passport. So
Yeah.
if you had one of those 50-page world traveler passports, so that would
So it's
take a
only
lot.
the main pages that have your identification.
The important part that identifies you. Very good. Are the means of subsistence for passive income earners the same as for people who work? Again, on online renewals, IMA is sending indeferido notices because they don't want foreign documents.
The ones that we have been going in person, they are asking to show that people still have the passive income, okay?
Right.
But remember that even if you don't have income in Portugal, you need to submit your tax return. Explain what is the type of income that you have from abroad. So what they really want to see is your last tax return.
Okay, very good. Mr. S, if there's more that you need, let us know in the chat there. Thanks, Gilda, for that. And from Jay as well. I love Spartan FX. Steve Flack is my advisor, and I really value his assistance. So shout out to Steve Flack this evening. Please pass that on if you will, Sarah. And Senor Daniel, is there a link also from Jay to a synopsis of the law? I think you've been working behind the scenes on that. So
Yep.
lawyers helping lawyers there behind the scenes so that Jay can find out more. Thank you very
Although
much.
the Parliament website was not working properly, but tomorrow I will be able to link him.
They're busy, aren't they? I guess they've had their minds
Yes.
on other things. Or it's the same tech team that are working on the IMA website as well.
I
Right?
bet.
They're a little bit pulled out. It's a little bit buggy. Okay. Thank you, Sarah, for mention of your Moving Money to Portugal guide as well. There's a link for that in the chat too. And yes, congratulations to the Minch family there as well. And actually, I must who was it? Rita, I think, commented on the quality of Portuguese being spoken in the chat this evening. Well done, everybody. That may well be Philomena's effect there and influence. And she, of course, is leading an introduction to speaking Portuguese online, which is an Expats Portugal course now. Yeah, Rita, I'm truly impressed with your quality of your Portuguese. Congratulations there. Or your Portuguese, congratulations. So thank you, Rita, for that. We've also got from Jay to Pedro, making good use of the whole dream team this evening, it would appear. In addition to the preparation of Portuguese income tax returns, are you or any of your colleagues conversant in the preparation of US, federal IRS and California franchise tax board income tax returns? And this is the whole point of the three-way conversation, is it not, Pedro? We tend to keep the jurisdiction on the respective side of the water.
Yes, we only make engagements for Portuguese tax returns. However, there's also a trusted partner from the Expats Portugal membership, which is the Greenback Expat Tax Services, and I've been working with them in many clients, and I get tremendous feedback. So people
Good.
are happy with them, and they are a very big team, very professional.
Yes.
So I would highly recommend them. And also I've been dealing with them. So as bilateral clients for clients that are on both sides. So yes.
There you go. Great recommendation there. Some the testimonials, basically the feedback you've been getting there, Pedro. So consider that then, Jay. Anyone else from the US to work in that combo of Greenback and EI here in Portugal? You can find out more details in the Expats Portugal Business Directory. And we do from time to time speak to Greenback. You'll be able to see previous webinars with them as well. Thank you for that answer, Pedro. We're staying with you, I think. Can IRS from Portugal be used to prove means of subsistence for online renewals for people who don't work but file? Asked Mr. S.
I think, Gilda?
Yes, I already answered that.
Oh, very good. Excellent.
That's what they want to see.
All right, thank you very much. And yes, Senor Pedro, again from Jay, thanks, Gilda. This is similar to the 1031 exchange system in the USA. I'm guessing that would make sense to you, and you're getting a nod there, Jay, from Pedro. Laurie's asking, I have heard that VFS is requiring 1 year travel insurance coverage now. Does anyone know if this is true, Gilda?
Yes, it is.
Okay, and Nunu can corroborate that, having more and more demand for 1 year coverage. And a hand has gone up from the man on the move, Jonathan Booth. That rhymes. I didn't know that was going to happen, Jonathan. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you very much. Good evening.
Excellent.
I am on the move. I'm racing towards an airport to catch a plane. But
Right.
I wanted to ask Sarah, and I apologize if this is in the chat because I haven't been reading the chat. But no, sorry, let me just make one comment. I just want to say on Gilda's fees that I don't think I've ever seen anything more fair.
Okay.
And in terms of anything that Gilda might charge, I keep in mind that we get unbelievably good advice week after week after week, and that's really helpful.
Thank you so much.
There you go,
Thank
Gilda.
you.
Thank you. And your question for Sarah, we need to get that answered quickly so you can get your eyes back on the road, Jonathan. What's your question for Sarah?
Okay, so I need to transfer a relatively small amount of money, $6,000, and I'd like to get it in Portugal next week. I don't have a bank account there, but I do need to pay a rental fee. Can I do that, and should I do it?
There you go. Great question. Thanks, Jonathan. Over
Yes, absolutely. I mean, we can pay any third party as long as you've been given bank account details to pay to them. Then yes, we do that for a lot of customers. We pay for the rent. Yeah, that's absolutely possible.
There we go. Jonathan, is that everything for you?
Yeah, I'll be in touch tomorrow. Thank you,
Safe
Sarah.
journey. Bon voyage to you. And we look forward to another update from you next week and finding out where you are on your journey. Brilliant. Take care, mate. Bye for now. Okay, in South Africa for UK visas, says Denise, we have to photocopy the whole passport in colour and in sequence, not only for your current passport, but for your previous ones as well. Wow. And I had to provide copies of my friends in the UK to prove they're legal. They really don't want tourists. That's amazing. I'm not sure to which you are saying so Portugal is not so bad, but I agree anyway. Jay, directly, I should ask this directly. In addition to the preparation of Portuguese income tax returns, is Senor Pedro or any of his colleagues converse? Oh, we've done that, so that's perfect. We've already answered that question for you. And I think I might have missed something. Oh, no, this was over on YouTube, actually. Keep those questions coming in, Expats Portugal Premium members. We look forward to seeing you, not this weekend, but the weekend after in Caldas where they have the most incredible umbrellas, and also Óbidos as well, the medieval village of Óbidos. See you there, or Óbidos, as the locals call it. Let me go to YouTube then. Good evening to you, Capricorn 12 over there, Vicky, Osama, and Alison. Let's go to a question. An interesting one for you, Gilda, from Osama Bedoui. Hello, about the declaration from the landlord and the contract. Is the declaration that says that the tenant is living there without paying money, without having the actual contract enough? Okay, so that's the old style, isn't it? Where you were just saying you're putting somebody up the responsibility letter. What's the current legislation or requirement on that, Gilda?
Well, there is no legislation about that.
Oh, okay.
So the answer is it depends,
Yes, of
because
course.
what should be And what was the rule is that you need to show a rental agreement that is registered at the tax office.
Right.
Okay. If you don't have a rental agreement, if you have a contrato de comodato, which is like you are borrowing a house, but you are not paying for that, then you need to show that contract and the declaration from the landlord
Okay.
with the signature of the landlord certified, notarized.
Okay. Is that everything you want to say on that?
Yes. So if you are not paying for the contract, you should show a contrato de comodato.
Yes.
Okay. And this statement from the person that owns the house and let you stay there.
Okay, very good. So now you know, Osama. And going back to Mr. S on the question of presenting your IRS file, is it the whole file or just the liquidation? I think that's for you there, Gilda. In terms of proving income. Did you catch that? Yeah, Mr. S, is it the whole IRS file or the liquidation? I'm not sure what that means, but is that a summary?
Pedro, you think
I can help. So
yeah.
I think it's better to take both.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you take the proof, you take the copy of the income tax return,
Yep.
which is a lot of pages, but never
Mm-hmm.
they want paper, they will have it. And the assessment, the liquidation, which is the note of assessment. And I think it's next week. I don't want to spoil anything, but I will show how to take also a certificate of assessment, which is
yes.
this you can download the assessment as a certificate, which is something more formal, more official that you can show to authorities.
And
So,
this is breakthrough stuff. This is our journey into the portal with you, isn't it?
yes. I don't want to spoil the
No. But folks, this is a first. This is going to be amazing. We're going in.
how do we say down the rabbit hole?
We are going down the finances rabbit hole, and where wise men fear to tread. And we will be doing that with you, Pedro. So that's going to be an amazing webinar that you must come to if you have any dealings with Portuguese finances. And who doesn't if you live here? So that's required reading, as it were, next week. And we'll be going in with Pedro to take a look at what can happen. And actually, to find out all of its capabilities, it will be like a 10-part series. So I think we're just doing highlights with you, aren't we, next week, or a beginner's guide, Pedro, for this first step, which I'm really looking forward to, I have to say. So thank you. Looking forward to that. Right. Oh, and then we'll have an advert as well for we're looking for people to join us who have been here for a little while in Portugal, who might like to take part in an upcoming webinar. Speaking of your experience, we like to speak to people who've been here and hear their testimonies of life here in Portugal. So if that's you, let us know in the chat as well. I'm going to go back to YouTube. I know there were other questions there as well. Vicky saying to you, Gilda, thanks, Pedro, for the time being. Hola a todos. Many thanks to EI, to A, to Luciana, and especially Philippa, who went with us for our renewal today. Worth every penny. So to reiterate, so any concerns there might be about value, to users of the service, to clients saying how much they appreciate you and what good value you are, Vicky and Jonathan there. Benoit from Capricorn 12. IVA on air conditioning 23%. Will the government drop the rate back to 6% on that? I don't think so necessarily, unless it's part of a bigger plan. I mean, how would you respond to that, Pedro? I think it's an air conditioning installation. Have we still got you there, Pedro, on that?
I was sorry, Carl. Can you repeat? I was answering.
Yes, this is it's a bit of a fragment of a question, and you might be able to make something of it. But over on YouTube, Capricorn 12, Chris is saying aircon 23%. Will the government drop the rate back to 6% on air conditioning? I presume that's air conditioning equipment and the installation thereof. If it fits the terms that you're talking about, and that's passed by Parliament, that would apply, would it not?
Well, if my advice is include it in the construction main contract. So
Yes.
when
Okay.
you are doing a house by yourself, what I mean is when you are hiring all the specialties and putting things and coordinating things on your own, it's different than when you buy the service to only one party. So in this case, it's better that the builder sells you the whole solution, including the aircon. Okay, that's my
Okay,
advice.
so that's great. That's a really interesting answer to that question for Capricorn Chris. There, good to see you over there on YouTube, and you, Abdul Alim, as well. Good to be here. You saying over on YouTube, and Alison James. Good evening to you, Alison. Good to see you. In the case of an immigrant purchasing a house, being exempt from the higher tax rate in the law proposal, is having an expired residence permit going to be a problem for the purchaser? That's a good question, Gilda. What would you make of that? And would you like me to read that again?
You
And are you
muted
there?
Gilda.
Yeah, so we lost Gilda.
No, Gilda's there, but she's muted.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
sorry.
Oh, she's answering the
Daniel,
question
maybe you
already.
can help. You can see if my point of view is correct. That is not going to be a problem because you don't, until now, you don't even need to be a resident to buy a property here. So that won't be a problem. Just with your passport, you can do it.
Okay.
My take on this one is that probably they'll do the law. I don't think that this law will be as it was publicized, but I think that eventually they will assess if the foreigner is a tax resident or not. If he is a tax resident, then they'll not look into the residency permit being valid or expired. It's a tax resident that was verified before, and it seems that tax residency is key here. If the card expires, well, the regime will not be affected by it. This is my take on it, but we'll still need to see the operating regime. There's always an easy way to complicate things, and sometimes people do complicate. So
Yes, but it's a
now
good heads up from Alison, I
you
think.
hired our renewal
I'm not
renewal
sure.
services, residency permit services, maybe.
That's Alison
Okay.
is being asked that question. Thank you, all three of you, for your views on that. And it's a good thing to be aware of, and a great question to raise there, Alison. So thank you for that. Hello, Gilda from Anand. I'm in contact with Diana and Luciana to renew my permit, but I'm stuck with a portal, can't upload documents, and no appointments. If you can check, please, as I really don't know what to do next. So a little bit of a cry for help from Anand Suleiman there. I'm saying the name because it is in the public domain over there on YouTube. If you wouldn't mind sharing that with Diana and Luciana, if that's okay, Gilda.
I'm going to write my email here, so you can send me an email directly because I'm not.
Good on you. Okay, I will do that. I'll be your PA this evening, and I'll
No, I'm
transfer
doing
that.
that already. Thank
Well,
you.
over on YouTube as well. Okay.
No.
Yeah, I'll need to do that. Do you want me to publish it on YouTube?
Yes.
Okay, there you go. Available to you, Anand, especially for you. I'm seeing other things going on in the chat here. Thank you, working with Mr. S. And Jay. I think there are there's messaging going on behind the scenes that I probably don't need to read out because you're being helped by the look of it over there. Right, we're in the last 5 minutes of this session here this evening, the Dream Team, our town hall session where you can get all your questions answered about moving to Portugal from the respective and appropriate professionals who you can also find in the Expats Portugal business directory. Jerry, I don't know if there are any announcements you want to make. I've got a last sort of and finally cultural piece, and it's been a long time since I've done one of these, but Lisbon has been hailed the happiest place on earth for travellers. I want the second best place, as revealed as a secret by our panelists after we've heard from you, Jerry.
Okay, all right. Well, now you've told me that, I'm going to the happiest place on earth tomorrow. So thanks for that, Carl. I'll expect to be very happy. I
can tell you more about that. Yeah, but that's made it even more worthwhile, I suspect.
Next on Saturday, it's the first Saturday in the month, and so we have the wonderful Hank and Connie social webinar, which is very popular with a lot of people. It's open to anyone who wants to come along. So that's on Saturday at 8 p.m. Starting at 8 p.m. Lisbon time. And then you've already discussed it. Next Thursday, we have a deep dive or a shallow dive, I'm not quite sure which, into the finance portal, led by someone called Pedro Franco. Anybody know who that is?
I've heard he's great. I've heard he's brilliant.
He's good, is he? Okay.
Yeah.
That could be really interesting. I'm amazed at how many people I speak to who say, yes, we've got our NIF number and so on. And when I say to them, do you ever go on the finance portal just to look and see what your tax situation is? They say no. They don't know how to go on there. They don't even know how to get a password. So it's as basic as that, Pedro. That's where we need to start, okay?
Very good. And they're
So those are the main events coming up, and of course, then the following week, that weekend, we're meeting Carl, Astrid, myself, and Philomena. We'll all be in Calais Arenas and going to Obidos for a cultural tour with Philomena, and then back to party time at the hotel in Calais, right?
Fantastic. Looking forward to that. Wonderful. Okay, thanks, Jerry. Just in these last few minutes then, Lisbon has been hailed as the happiest place on earth for travelers. Yes, but Disneyland has been knocked off its pedestal. You're saying there, I think, was that LaRonda who was saying that? The Portuguese capital excels in multiple categories, according to this Portugal resident article that I'm looking at. The new study has named the Portuguese capital of Lisbon as the world's happiest holiday destination, conducted by Book Retreats, self-described as the world's #1 retreat website and published in People magazine. And it was a psychologist, Natalie Dattilo-Ryan, who analysed 47 travel destinations based on 5 feel-good factors: sunlight, quality sleep. Do you really want to be sleeping when you're on holiday? A healthy diet, time in nature, and physical exercise. So well done, Lisbon. But what would be your second? I mean, we're here with the experts tonight and the Portuguese natives who know Portuguese, know Portugal better than all of us. Gilda, let's start with you. Lisbon is top, and I'm sure you're not surprised. What would be a second best to that, or a secret location where you would go to?
Actually, I am surprised. I think that this person is overreacting about Lisbon being the happiest place for holidays, okay?
Yes.
The healthy food, fine. The exercise, okay, because we have lots of hills.
Yes.
But come on, there are better places for holidays. It's a noisy city.
So where would you send them in Portugal?
In Portugal, maybe they could go to Azores, they could go to Jerez, maybe Alentejo.
Okay, thank you very much for your 3 suggestions there. I mean, any of those, including Lisbon as well, would be great. What about you, Daniel?
I do agree with the places that Gilda just said. Jerez is one of my favorite places in Portugal, Azores as well. If it wasn't for work-related purposes, I would probably live in Algarve, because if the weather is good all year round and you don't have island fever. So this is not holiday choice, but it's more, if work was not an issue, where would I live in Portugal? Definitely the Algarve.
Very good. Thank you very much for that. Thank you, Gilda, for being here. Thank you, Daniel. Just going with who I can see and the order on the screen. Pedro, where would you suggest?
North of Vila do Conde. So I like the triangle between Viana do Castelo, Ponte Lima, and Caminha.
Well said, sir.
You have the real Portugal, real Portuguese northern people. Yep. Excellent food, excellent value for price.
And Jay likes the sound of that, as did Peter. I think that was a triangle that Peter outlined.
It is.
It is, isn't it? Yes, it is, of the Portugal company. Yeah, when I spoke to him. Fantastic. Thank you, Pedro, as well. What about you, Rita? What would you suggest? And Gonzalo, you know I'm going to come to you as well.
I will go also for Jerez, which is very beautiful.
Yeah.
Azores, also good. And the countryside in Portugal is very beautiful to explore. Not so known cities.
Yes. I think this has surprised the panel a little bit. Happiest place on earth for travelers. But anyway, until they get educated by us, that is. Thank you, Rita, for being here tonight. What about you, Gonzalo?
Good evening, guys. That's an easy one. I'm happy where I am. I'm from Sintra.
Yes.
Which is it's a beautiful place, and I think I'm way happier here than I was if I was in Lisbon, to be honest.
Right.
Surrounded by green sites and the palaces, and they're just beautiful. Yeah.
Yes. And some say the Disneyland of Portugal, a real one. Thank you
Yeah.
very much, Gonzalo, for being
No
here,
worries.
helping people
Have a
behind
good
the
evening, guys.
scenes. Thank you very much indeed. Nuno, what would you say?
Well, I stay with what my team has suggested, but on the top, I go with Daniel Jerez.
Very good. Jaresh is really, I think we need to write to this person. Maybe I'll drop him a line and send him a link to this recording. And finally, sorry to keep you that extra minute, everybody, but I think this is good information to be finding out about. Sarah, not strictly speaking a Portuguese native yet, but where would you suggest? And would you agree, Lisbon, happiest place on earth for travellers?
Well, I love where I live, so yes. But I would say, well, really the whole of Portugal. And there's so many lovely places. I've actually been fortunate to travel around a lot in the summer. I haven't actually been to the Azores yet, or Jerez, is that how you say it?
The Jerez, yeah.
Yet. They are on the bucket list. In the summer, we went to the Braga, which was the Expats Portugal meetup. Beautiful place to the north. I'd like to explore more of the north, Douro Valley. It is lovely up there. And then also then in Alentejo, Évora, Estremoz. That's
Listen
a
to
beautiful
you.
place.
Listen to
Loads
you.
of places.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Expect Sarah's own version of the world's happiest holiday destinations in Lisbon soon. I think we need to drop Book Retreats and People magazine a line alongside Dr. Natalie Datillo Ryan, who analysed those 47 travel destinations in Lisbon coming out on top. Thanks, everybody. 2 minutes over, but I think you'll find worth your while there. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks to you over on YouTube as well. And we'll see you again next week. Take care. Bye for now. Thank you very much. Ciao, ciao.
Okay.